Oh, hi there. I wanted to make a video today you guessed what, the National Hockey League. There is a man named the Hockey Guy who is supposed to be the local guy around here that talks about the NHL. If you're new to the game of hockey. Anyway, he had an interesting opinion about the Brad Marchand fight with Lars Eller of the Washington Capitals. What, did he? Was it the what? No, he used to be in Montreal, now he's on Washington, that's right. Anyway, he said, oh, it's unprovoked, Lars Eller didn't want to fight, and yada yada yada, the usual spiel, and how fighting can cause concussions. Seeing as I'm donning a Minnesota Wild jersey with, you may guess who, as a name on the back, and the tragic story of Derek Boogaard, the Hockey Guy is not wrong in his opinion, although I don't agree with him. A big part of the problem with concussions that a lot of people don't understand is it's not the concussion itself that's entirely the problem. I mean, obviously it is part of the problem, there's no doubt about that. But many players that have severe concussion syndrome or symptoms later on in life after they've long since played hockey or any other physical sport, they were given painkillers to deal with the pain of having a concussion and all that. And it may have been, a concussion that a day or two, you'd rather not be in that situation, but a day or two later, you'd be relatively okay. Like, I've not been in too many scraps myself, but I've been in, one or two, obviously, most people have. And, I remember getting, wasn't a full-on punch to the head, but it was a punch to the head, and it seemed like a lightning bolt passed by my eyes. And, I walked it off. And, the whole, a hockey player, oh, he's not looking for a fight, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. There is not one NHL player that's not looking for a fight. And I'll tell you why, because there are different types of fighting. If you think scoring goals and all that is not a type of fighting, you are incorrect. Because the National Hockey League, as I've said before, is a capitalist corporate industrial complex. And to score goals, it's more than your individual talent as a hockey player. As a matter of fact, with the size of the rink, if you had 5 competent defensemen instead of any forwards, the opposite team could never score a goal. That's the bottom line. The rink isn't big enough. And, so obviously there has to be management of hockey styles. I mean, we can't have the Philadelphia Flyers where basically they're just the biggest, meanest assholes on the block running rampant again. That's why they won the Stanley Cup. It's not because they were gifted hockey players. It's because they would fight at a whim. They'd, drop of the hat and they'd, be at it. And nobody wanted to play them. That is a way of playing hockey, but, you can always pull the plug on, muscle-bound idiots and watch their muscles shrivel. That's quite easy to do with the medicines they got around today. Anyway, when I think of Brad Marchand and Lars Eller fighting, you don't know what kind of trash talk happened behind the scenes. They don't enlighten us as to what that was. And to say, oh, because I didn't see it, that makes Lars Eller the innocent person. No, it doesn't actually. And this is not me defending Brad Marchand. And I mean, if, in all honesty, if there was no trash talking behind the scenes, then no way would I side with Brad Marchand. But we all know there's plenty of trash talking in hockey. I mean, what are you, completely ignorant, oblivious? You don't know that there's trash talk in hockey? aside from that, we have no direct evidence. There isn't a news feed on the internet or on TV saying Lars Eller called Brad Marchand this and that, and it's pretty easy to call that guy names because he is a homosexual after all. That's his business, so whatever. I would wish he wouldn't bring it to the game. However, it is what it is. Anyway, on a different subject, we have to think of a fight where a player fought a guy who didn't want to fight. He fought Aaron Ekblad, and his name was Max Domi, and he smoked him good in the face. And being one of these politically correct little cunts like Aaron Ekblad probably is, he's the type of person who will, you'll be waiting for the bus and stealthily and sleekily try to get in front of you, and if you call him on it, he'll turn around and go, calm down, calm down, calm down. Typical politically correct move. Therefore, that's him, being a little weasel and turning around making you look like the bad guy. And that's what I suspect when Max Domi smoked him, and Max Domi went, I don't care what you think, I'm going to punch you in the face. Lars Eller, behind the scenes, given the type of hockey player he is, he trash talked, no doubt about it. Because he's like, oh, not in the face, not in the face. Meanwhile, I'll call you any damn name I want behind your back. It's like, shut up. There are different types of pain, different types of insults, different types of uncooperative, unprovoked attacking, and it's not all physical. And the weaseliest of the weasels use the I'm going to talk a bunch of shit behind you and say it in such a plausible manner that people will believe it. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was the way it was. Max Domi doesn't appear to be a stupid man to me. His father, Ty Domi, was not stupid. Even though I hear Ty Domi is an idiom for idiot, me idiot, but whatever. And the whole Aaron Ekblad, them going, oh, he did nothing to deserve it, he didn't provoke it or anything. Even if that was true, this is the National Hockey League. Shit happens. Sticks get lifted and hit people in the face. People fall inadvertently after trying a deke or something like that. There's body checks, wild pucks flying, and you most certainly have to expect that if you've done something to piss someone off, you got to keep your head up and look for it. And this whole going, everybody punched me. I mean, I called him a whole pile of names behind his back, but that punching me was uncalled for. Shut up. This is sports entertainment. We're here to watch games to be entertained. And a big part of the problem with concussion and the idea behind them is, yes, you don't want your brains rattling around in your skull. However, all of those hockey players, they get the medication that makes that pain go away. And that is most certainly part of the problem. And I would know that wearing a Minnesota Wild Derek Brugard jersey who passed away because of overusage of this medication. I don't even know what he was on. I don't care to know. That's not how I play. I mean, I've had a sore throat for 6 years for anyone who knows about my YouTube channel. And I was never given anything of that nature. And to be honest with you, I don't want it. And that's what most hockey players today should go in with the mindset of. That, if you have a dirty mouth behind the scenes, you very well may deserve a smack on the face from a guy, like Max Domi. Like, Max Domi's not an idiot. And if someone's trying subversive tactics, and it's really what I suspect. I mean, I have a preconceived bias because I tried to buy an Aaron Ekblad jersey off of Hockey Authentic a couple of years back. I got my Kirk McLean jersey, and I ordered another jersey that was right. my Alexander Ekblad jersey, Millionaires jersey. I got those two jerseys at the same time, and it was like, you know, I didn't get my Aaron Ekblad jersey, and I got screwed out of that. And, you know, not that I think Aaron Ekblad had anything to do with it, but, you know, it's a little bit of a bias because of that. So, you know, that actually is a thing, that, you know, hockey is part of the game, and there are a lot of whiny people going, oh, take it out of the game, take it out of the game. Excuse me? Shut up! Like, it's most bothersome when you got douchebags who are hypocritical, who don't have a problem attacking people, but because they, you know, do it in a subversive way, you know, a sleek, sneaky sort of way, they feel as though their way is better. And it's usually the Swedes that are responsible for that. And, you know, I'm going to make a video about that soon enough, because sometimes words are more painful than pain, physical pain. And, you know, the National Hockey League, there's a lot of that going around. You may not see it, but it's there. And, you know, that's to toughen the players up, because the fan base are even bigger cunts. Always have been. And, you know, like, it's just one of those things, you know. So anyway, I'm going to say Brad Marchand. I saw the fight he had with him, Lars Eller, and I'm like, yeah, that was legitimate, and he didn't deserve a suspension for that. But he could have been suspended for, you know, forever if he continues to lick faces. He could get an outright ban from the NHL. Out with him! Gods, see him out of the castle! If you know what I mean. Get him out of here. We don't want that logic either. That was, you know, the comparison between that fight and the fight with Max Domi and Aaron Ekblad. So anyway, tell me what you think. Let me know what's going on in the comments. And I'll talk to you guys later. And before I go, I'd like to tell you about my sponsor of the day. Alberta Pure Vodka. It is one of the cheaper ones. I would assume it's made in vodka. I mean, not Invade vodka. I'm sure it was made in Alberta, I think. It does so say on the label, so, you know, offhand you would think. And I am really against, you know, the bitchiness of the Alberta government, you know, not accepting British Columbian wine over a hissy fit over some pipeline. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Have a good one.